Good morning, everyone. This is Vic from Trading Academy and Investments. And today I want to take this opportunity to do a very short video on SkyWater Technologies. This is a company that I am specifically invested in. Any of my ideas actually are from companies that either I am invested in or will be looking for potential entries into these companies. Right. But with that being said, do your due diligence, right? Trading does involve risk. Do not trade with money that you can't afford to lose. um, this is for educational slash entertainment purposes only. Get with your financial advisor if you need some type of investment information and whatnot. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get on to it. For those of you who watch any of my other videos, guys, I don't focus too much on fundamentals, right? My thought behind that process, other than the financials of the company, which, obviously, those of you who look into SkyWater Technologies, we just had earnings released not too long ago, and not that bad, but also not that great, right? And I'll just touch over that very quickly. Um, if you look at when Skywater's IPO'd, this company is still fairly new. Honestly, any company, for example, Hims and Hers, that's another company that I've invested in for several years, right? Skywater Technologies, these are companies that came into the market right before the COVID crash. So when it comes to that, you have to keep in mind that any of the companies that either went public or any of the companies that were out there anyways took a major hit during COVID. And so therefore, a lot of these companies are still recovering from that COVID drop. And a big example is, for example, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, and I'll touch that over at the end of the video. But these are companies that are still, recovering from that big drop, and so the market typically has to kind of balance itself out, right? And so the way I look at Skywater Technologies right now is obviously right the big drop going back late 2021. And so, where the market is at right now, how do I see it? Where do I see it going? Um, so, for my breakout traders out there, right, where it looks like we are currently on a small downtrend, although we would say, well, this is a very big downtrend, right? Um, Not if you look at a potential, we might have a potential reversal on our hands, right? And the reason I say this is if you look at this area right here and you extend this to your right, we've already tested this area. Those of you who trade trend lines, we have a nice little trend line up here until it actually breaks. My rule with trend lines is whenever you have a legitimate trend line, I like to go with at least three touches, right? Eventually, that trend line will break, of course, which is what happened here. And market will typically go back or pull back to at least the starting point of where that trend line actually started or originated from. So we already have that done, right? That already happened. So now we have this area right here. And so when I look at that area, I'm looking at specifics like, so this area right here, it could be this area right here, and of course the order block down here, right? This entire area, right? It's a range. Um, I see this as potential pivot points for Skywater Technologies. Like I said, we didn't reach. So the red box is the monthly time frame. The orange outline is my weekly time frame. I like to start off by just analyzing the monthly, right? And so if you go to the monthly, there's not really much. Oops, sorry about that. Let me go ahead and take that out. There's not really much to go by, right? If you see this order block right here, well, we haven't tested it, but when you go down to the weekly time frame, you do see that there are minor zones that could act as potential pivots, and therefore maybe not even reach this area right here. Now, I do actually think that there. I mean, based on the monthly time frame, this candle is obviously still running, so there is still some time left for this candle to actually close. we may actually have a retest and pull all the way back up. So only time will tell, right? But what I like to do is I like to start off the monthly and work my way down as far as the daily time frame, and that's it. I don't like to go any any further than that. So uh, again, pivot point one, right? Already tested that. We haven't tested pivot two. Could potentially, just move up slightly. Test zone one. What I consider to be zone one would be this area right here, which is that resistance area, or it could be zone two, which is this area right here. Um, those are again possibilities. I'm actually in this company already, so I'm very comfortable with where I'm at right now. I don't foresee this going actually any lower, but hey, who knows, right? The market can do anything. um, and then, of course, those of you, like I said, trend line traders, you may actually have something going on here, right, where the market is just kind of pulling back. And of course, you can trade it based off counter trend lines. Those of you who are my day traders, just look for any potential movement here where all of a sudden it can drop. It could give us that final drop, hopefully, and then of course start shooting higher. Um, this is still technically right, a downtrend, right? You got your lower high, right? You got your lower low, uh, lower high, and then of course, actually now you have a lower low here. Um, so I don't see us, or I don't see the market actually doing anything. Potentially, I see it bouncing off this area, so to speak. So overall, very good for Skywaters. Like I said, I have this trend line here marked right here where I can potentially see this market once it starts, once we start creating new highs. Then at that point, keep in mind some of the analysts, uh, they have their, of course, their targets at like 15, $17, right? And this is because of this area right here, right? This area right here, these are potential targets. So those of you who've been following me for quite some time, we know the market moves in waves, right? And so I like to keep it very simple, follow market structure, of course, and your supply and demand zones, of course, with order blocks and whatnot. But right, if the market's going to continue to go higher, where are your potential reversal or pivots, right? So you have zone one or zone two, which is your worst case scenario. But if you're looking to go into a buy, could be your best case scenario, honestly, because these pivots could be potential entries for you as well, right? So if the market comes down here, pierces zone two, but still closes above, that does not mean we have a potential reversal, because obviously candle needs to close below zone two, which is what happened here. It's currently happening in Skywater Technologies on the weekly time frame. We have a close below basically what would be, this support zone right here. And so now I potentially see a move up and then another move down towards this area right here. And hopefully we start making new highs, new lows, etc. Okay. Well, this is it for me today, guys. If you are new to one of my videos, don't forget to just like and follow. I will be talking a little bit more about some projections, what I'm seeing in the market for other stock companies. As you can see right here, for what I was talking about earlier, right, companies that are still recovering from COVID. This is a analysis that I did back in 2021, right, where the market just boom, it just crashed. And next thing you know, I honestly thought we were going to get a deeper pullback, but of course we didn't. But nonetheless, look, we're only about, I'd say, what, $5 away from my actual target area. So If you look at United Airlines, same thing with United Airlines, right? And this is me being generous, $73 target. That, again, that's me being very generous. I honestly think this company will get back to the 91s, which is, the previous candle before the actual down movement. I made some good returns on Save, which is Spirit Airlines, and of course Southwest Airlines. If you look at you know, if you look at a company like Spirit, uh, how is it that they recovered, right? How did they recover from COVID? And of course, after that, they just dropped right after, right? Same thing, Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines. Here's your COVID level, right? They recovered almost right away, and the market just took a dump. Same thing, JetBlue, right? So these are companies that I follow very closely, but nonetheless, guys, I will be creating more videos on more on Delta Airlines, United Airlines. I'll go into Carnival Cruise Line and Norwegian. I think there's a lot of opportunity on these two companies right here. So again, if this is your first time watching any of my videos, don't forget to like and follow for more content. All right. Well, that would be it. Thank you so much for being with me today. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Have a blessed day.